So good day and welcome to another edition of America's Water Cooler News. My name is Rock Daniels and today is Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. Now here's some news that's going to affect you across the United States and world. Now U.S. Special Operations Forces evacuate American embassy in Sudan due to ongoing violence between rival Sudanese commanders. Now no shots were fired, no major casualties reported. Thousands of private American citizens left behind. Now, President Biden, thanks to troops and calls for the end to violence, had about 100 U.S. troops airlift embassy staff to Ethiopia with the assistance of other countries. Now, U.S. evacuation planning has begun after embassy convoys attack. Now, embassy evacuations by the U.S. military is rare and usually under extreme conditions. Now, former President Donald J. Trump, speaking to influential evangelicals in Iowa, highlighted his efforts to restrict abortion rights during his presidency, including the nominations of 3 conservative judges to the U.S. Supreme Court, which paved the way for the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the ruling. Now, Trump received applause for attending the annual March for Life abortion opposition rally and relocating the U.S. Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Now, his former Vice President Mike Pence also celebrated Trump's efforts to restrict abortion and took credit for the judicial appointments. Now, the event took place amid a renewed focus on abortion rights as a pivotal issue in the elections, with Republicans grappling at how far to go in supporting restrictions in the procedure to satisfy the conservative base in the primary without alienating general election voters. Now, Pence distinguished himself from Trump by supporting federal restrictions on abortion, including a minimum 15-week ban. Now, former President Donald J. Trump faces a trial in a lawsuit filed by former advice columnist E. Jean Carroll, who accuses him of rape. Now, Trump denies the allegations, calling them a complete con job, and the trial puts Trump's history with women under scrutiny as he runs to return to the White House next year. Now, this could impact his political future. Now, Trump has used his legal troubles in the past to rally support among Republicans. Now, the trial also marks a Me Too moment milestone and draws attention to a New York law allowing lawsuits over decades-old sex crimes. Now, the 155mm howitzer round, which is a highly requested artillery ammunition in the Ukraine war, is being shipped from the U.S., 1.5 million rounds to be exact. Now, this round is popular due to its balance between range and warhead size, and it's used as a system for large guns that can fire a target as far away as 20 miles. Now, in Ukraine, rounds are being fired at a rate of 6,000 to 8,000 a day. Now, Ukraine is requesting more as it prepares for a counteroffensive against Russia. Now, the Scranton Army Ammunition Plant in the United States is at the forefront of the Pentagon plan to accelerate ammunition production to support the Ukraine efforts and prepare for a potential conflict one day against China. Now, the plant, one of only 2 in the United States that produce steel bodies that are critical for that 155mm howitzer round, is undergoing modernization to increase production. However, challenges such as limited space due to historic building preservation and expanding supply chains for part pose obstacles to ramping up production. Now, despite efforts, the U.S. is struggling to keep up with the high demand for ammunition in the Ukraine in their war against Russia. Now, the U.S. is experiencing a record pace of mass killings in 2023, with 88 lives lost in 17 mass shootings in the first 111 days in the United States. The frequency of mass killings, defined as 4 or more fatalities, not including the perpetrator, is averaging once every 6.5 days, a rate not seen since 2009. Now, motives for the violence range from murder-suicides to domestic violence to gang retaliation, school shootings, and workplace vendettas. Now, despite the alarming numbers, major policy changes to address gun violence are not anticipated at any state or federal level. Now, as a person who actually supports the Second Amendment and feels that law-abiding citizens should actually be able to own a firearm, I just question why we cannot come up with laws that require mental health evaluations. Now, I see people all the time holding up signs, panhandling for money on the side of the road, some of them with serious mental health problems, some of them barking at the sky, and I think that person can go buy a gun if they have money at any time, and there's no way in hell that some of these people should be able to purchase a firearm. Now, despite many of them don't even know how to use a firearm, which totally negates the good guy with a gun mentality, because it needs to be a good guy or gal who knows how to actually use a gun and is trained. Well, I don't believe that we should take away the guns from law-abiding citizens, and I don't think that we can come up with some common sense legislation without bipartisanship. Now, that starts by having laws that protect the same law-abiding citizens and especially our children. Now, it's not a Republican problem. It's not a Democrat problem, and there should be no aisle between us. This is an American problem, and we need to tackle this issue the same way our forefathers would have tackled this issue if their children were being killed in masses. Well, guys, that does it for another edition of America Water Cooler News. My name is Rock Daniels, and I am the Bluegrass Realtor for all your Central Kentucky real estate needs. Feel free to reach out to me at rockrealtor@yahoo.com. That's ROCKREALTOR at yahoo.com. Take a moment, subscribe so we can stay connected. Thank you so much for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on another edition of America's Water Cooler News. Feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to discuss anything with you guys. Have a great day.